Yeah, buddy, back again. I'm blessed again because I'm blessed again. I am back again. I want y'all to take a walk with your boy, with your man. RLD TV is now Side Hustle Kingz. RLD TV is now Side Hustle Kingz. What happened? We got so much to cover. Hopefully this wind isn't too loud. Hopefully this wind ain't too loud, y'all. Where do I start? Well, RLD TV was based around my nonprofit, and we were focused on what? We were focused on real estate. That's what we were focused on. Well, I'm not the type of person that's just gonna make videos just to be making videos. I can do that, but I ain't gonna do that. And so we were doing real estate. You can go back and you can check the old videos. And the deal that we had, it didn't go through. The people were living in the house. We gave them what's called an early occupancy addendum, which is kind of like in real estate, you're not really supposed to do that, but we allowed it. And it really wasn't a problem. It could have went south, but God blessed me with that, where it didn't turn out crazy or whatever. And so the deal didn't go through because the bank was wanting certain things, and then we were like, no, we're not doing that. We were trying to get the deal done. They were saying it was done and everything or whatnot, and we had the certificate of deposit, the CD, stuff like that, and it's bagged up. And they did not want to budge, and they wanted us to pay for certain things. And I'm like, nah, we're not doing that. And I got to the point where it's like, look, y'all got to go ahead and decide what y'all gonna do, or you got to get out. So I gave them a few weeks and stuff like that to figure out what they were gonna do. And they decided to go ahead and move because they didn't want to pay the extra money, not having any guarantee that they were still going to be able to close on the house. And that had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with them. That was with their bank, with their lender, and they did not want to switch. So they moved out. We got the house back, and I was trying to maximize the time that I had because I wanted to try to close on the house before the market cooled off. And that's what happened. The market started to cool off a little bit, and we were going to put it back on the market. But my wife was pregnant. We had found out she was pregnant, and the house that we were staying in at the time, it wasn't the best house. It's not the best house. We're gonna put it like that. And so what we decided to do for the time being, we said, okay, we'll just take it off the market for right now. We'll do a little bit more work on it, and we'll move into it until the baby is born, and we'll go from there. So that's where we are at right now. The baby isn't born yet, but the baby should be born soon, Lord willing. Everything has been going pretty smooth so far, but anything can happen. And then we will go from there. So the house that we had on the market under RLD TV, we are now living in. And it's not a loss because the property still has value. I know what I bought it for with the land and everything. And I know what the current market value is going for. And because I bought it and I got it at such a good price, I'm to the good. I could sell it for lower than what the market is and still make a profit off of it. Now, of course, it wouldn't be as big of a profit as if I sold it at market value, but a profit nonetheless, a nice little profit. So that's what happened with that. I just been focused on family, man. Been focused on family. I got me a side hustle job. That's what I call it. Working at Walmart. You may say, well, how's that a side hustle job? Well, I got a family, man. I got to make sure I take care of my family and stuff like that. My businesses, they weren't doing too well at the time. And so I was like, this is the, how you doing? My neighbor, the house that, is she getting out? She might be getting out. That's the old house we used to live in. I want to show y'all this habitat house they just built on the corner. Like, when they put this house up here, it adds value to the neighborhood and everything. So that's good for everybody. So they put this two store. How you been? How you been? Sick? Stop drinking all them drinks. So you gotta stop drinking all them drinks. Soda. That'll do it. That'll do it. But this is the two-store. This is the first two-story in the city. And they don't do too many two-stories or whatnot. They don't do too many two-stories that they built. It's right here on the corner. As y'all see. But y'all get a little walk around of that. It's a brand new build, brand new house. Got a little shed in the back to match. So this is going to bring value to everybody else's property. Like I said, that was the house that we used to stay in. And then the lady that owns it, she put a little tiny house up there. I checked it out and stuff. So like I said, you know, unless something dramatic or drastic happens in the world, which is a high possibility it could, the game plan is still the same. We're still going to do real estate, and that's the purpose of Side Hustle Kingz. You're supposed to do the side hustles to help you out with what you are really striving for. I'll say it one more time. You're supposed to do the side hustles to strive and help you to accomplish what you're really pushing for. Me working at Walmart, that was for the time being. I still work there, but I still got this house. I'm still building this business. I started a brand new company, RLD Media LLC. We got some books and stuff out, made a few sales on that. We're gonna continue to build our portfolio, our content with that and everything, our catalog, however you want to put it. We're gonna continue to drop videos on this channel. We're gonna continue to drop content on our other channels, and we're just gonna keep on building. You're gonna keep on building. You see, you gotta humble yourself, man. People look and say, oh man, you went to Walmart, you work at Walmart, and you were doing real estate. You're absolutely right. That Walmart money was guaranteed money. That Walmart money was guaranteed money. But people, they think that, and they're like, you know, you may be this, you may be that. Not realizing that the house that I have, the equity in it is, you may say, 90,000 or more equity. Because remember, we were selling the house at $100,000. Now, we've done some more work on the house since then, which has only increased the value of the property. Y'all get so focused on what somebody does or doesn't have, you don't really know what people do or don't have. You think the people that got this and they got that, oh, they got it going on. They got this and they got that. Not realizing that they really don't have it going on like you think they do. So that's where we're at with that. I'm gonna give y'all a walk around of the property because I know y'all ain't seen it in a while. I'm gonna show you some of the upgrades we have done. Nothing too major, but it has added value to the property. But what we did was we cleared a lot of this out. Remember, there used to be a house right here. It burnt down. We're looking to hopefully buy this land one day and put a property on it. Now, what I'm probably gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to put a maintenance lien on this property because I'm the one that be cutting the grass. I'm the one that be cutting the grass and everything and maintaining it. I rented a skid steer and we cleared and pushed a lot of this stuff back. All this was like overgrown. You couldn't even really walk back here. And then we cleared all this out. Got a whole bunch of stuff back here we gotta clean up. Y'all know how it is. And boom. We got a tiny house back here. This is my mother-in-law's. This is my mother-in-law's tiny house. I'm not gonna show y'all the inside of it, because you'll be all right anyway. But you see, kind of like matches the front. She got some stuff under there, dug ditches to make that for that water to run off. And we have all this too, because it's two lots. So you have this lot with our house. It stops about right there at the pole. So what we might probably have to do is we probably have to get this moved over. The reason for that is the tiny house is impeding on the other piece of land. Now, I can sell it all as one piece, or I can split it up and be like, you just get this piece and a tiny house, and then I can keep this land over here and then put another house. So all this was trees and everything. Matter of fact, we still got some of the stuff out there because the city didn't come pick it up, so I gotta cut it down some so they can get it, or I gotta pay somebody. But all this, y'all remember, you go back and watch the old videos, all this was covered up. You couldn't even hardly walk through here. Now you can walk through here and everything. Now I didn't put some grass seed down, you can see the difference. That's my grass seed patch. I gotta put some more grass seed and stuff down here. I don't know what that is. What is that? Dead plant. But yeah, the property line goes all the way back there, so it's plenty of room to shake something. And I still gotta clean this up. All this is overgrown. All this is overgrown. We've been cleaning it little by little. So I got the skid steer. I wish I would have went back there a little bit more. So the property line goes about right here. And if we keep this side, we don't sell it with this property, then we're gonna put a fence around here and block her off. So we got a little trash we gotta get up. This is all this old stuff that was down there. that you couldn't get to because everything was overgrown. So all this got to go, but in due time we'll get it right. And that's some of the debris from this. Like I said, you couldn't even walk through here. It was all the way up here. All the way up here was just covered up completely. And so you can see the potential in regards to what somebody can do, and what somebody can get. But it's pretty much a 2 for 1. 2 for 1. They can buy this, and then they can get this and clear this off and put some here, or they can just keep it as one big old piece of land. It's just a few things I gotta fix. This is a solar thing. It lights up. That stuff wears out over time. And then we got the Jag. Now I did a little paint work on it, and I ended up messing it up. Ran into or bagged into something, so I got to touch that up. And what I've been doing is doing some paint correction, sanding it, getting it right. We got it pretty much smooth. For those who know about paint, that's your orange peel, and then that's when you sand it down, you get it smooth, and then when you polish it back out, you get a better reflection. Like I said, it's dirty. I haven't touched it in so long. And then put it on the market. As you can see, this is the side that hasn't been polished and everything. We started on that. Started on certain parts. It's just been cold, man. Been cold, and like I said, I had to go to work at Walmart, so that took away a lot of time. That's when you got your shine, and you sand it down, you get it smooth, and you polish it back out to get that guy looking like glass. But that's what's been going on. Just been working, planning, figuring some things out, taking care of the family, obviously. Doing what I can do to position myself to make different moves in the future. And that's what we're going to be doing with this channel right here. We're going to be helping each and every one of you, hopefully motivating you to, you know, get out here, man. Get out here. This ain't about getting rich. If you want to be rich, then you can do that. This really is about being there for your family, man. You know, I don't want y'all to have to work these crazy hours. You've been having to work, and you're not being able to be there for your children, not being able to be there, hopefully for your wife, not your girlfriend, but for your wife. Because I want y'all to have a wife. I want you to have a strong family. You have a strong family, strong children, strong bond, strong business, and you know, just enjoy the portion that God has given you. That's what it's boiled down to. I ain't with all that other stuff that people got going on, man. You know, people out here making babies and stuff and this and that, and they don't want to take care of them. That ain't what's up, man. That's the old ways. That's what got us in this mess in the first place. Doing stuff like that, and then we ain't got no fathers in the household, you know, guiding us as men, even the women and everything. But that's for another video, another channel. So I'm gonna let y'all go. Just want to give y'all an update of what's been going on, where we at, what we're gonna be doing. Be on the lookout for the content. Before I let y'all go, I want to make sure I tell you what happened with the Jag and the van, because that was a crazy situation in itself. Also, y'all let me know what you think about the tiny house, my mother's tiny house. She's always wanted one. She finally got an opportunity to get one, and she got one. She pays for it. She is retired, and she pretty much pays for it with her Social Security check, and then we take care of everything else and whatnot. But tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about it. But yeah, remember the Jag, last video, the Jag was in the shop. The Jag was in the shop, man. They had my car for so long, it was ridiculous. What I believe is they was trying to finesse me out of it, thinking that I was just not gonna eventually come and get it and everything. But these folks kept on giving me the run around and everything. I'm like, man, I need my vehicle, I need my vehicle, I need my vehicle. So I eventually went up there and took care of it. They got the car done pretty fast after the fact, which is interesting because you should have got it done before that. But I got it and it still wasn't running right. Now what happened was one of my fuel lines had got kinked and it wasn't getting no fuel up there. The problem is they don't make that fuel line for this vehicle anymore. You either have to get a used one or you have to fabricate the part. They changed the fuel lines, but they didn't change the fuel filter. And this is a business that specializes in foreign cars. They specialize in these older Jags and stuff like that. And you didn't change the fuel filter. So I had to get under there, change that fuel filter. I caught hell with that because of the position. It was just bad engineering how they designed it and everything. But we got it done and we've been rolling since then. Haven't had any major issues. Need to get a tune up and stuff like that, but we rolling. Now, how did we end up getting a van from Georgia? Well, we had the Honda van. It was giving us problems. It had misfire, like it would barely go. And we were still driving it. And it got to the point, like, look, I don't want you to get stranded because my wife was driving. Now at the time we had another vehicle, which was my mother-in-law's vehicle. And we end up selling that / losing that over some bull jive. So what happened with that? Going back to the van. It wasn't worth putting the money in the van, so we decided to sell it. Because what it needed, everything it needed, we had already got our money out of it. I bought that van from an auction, like a real live dealership auction, not the ones that open to the public. But at the time, I had auto auction access to be able to get these vehicles from the same place that dealerships get their vehicles, the dealer-only auctions. And we had it for a few years, and we got our money out of it. So I was like, okay, let's go ahead and sell it and then use that money towards something else. Because we still, at the time, we had two vehicles. We had the one vehicle, my mother-in-law's vehicle, and then we had my vehicle, which at the time, my vehicle was in the shop. I didn't really need a vehicle at that particular point in time because a lot of my work that I was doing was, online. And I knew I was going to get my vehicle back, or at the time, I thought I was going to get my vehicle back pretty fast. So we ended up selling it. Guy came and got it. Deal went pretty smooth. As far as I know, they riding around because I've seen it a few times and everything. And the Mazda, which is my mother-in-law's vehicle, it started to give us problems. It was overheating and stuff like that. And I changed out the radiator, changed out the thermostat, and I went to school for working on cars. So I kind of like figured, man, I'm gonna need to change the water pump too. But funds were tight, and I had to hurry up and try to get it back on the road because that's how we were making our money, which is from driving. That's one of our side hustles. Grocery delivery with with Walmart / Spark or whatever you want to call it. And lo and behold, the water pump needed to be changed. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna change it myself, but then I was like, no, I'm not gonna be able to because I don't have time because of where it was positioned at. I did a little research. I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to do this and the water pump is on the side of the engine. You gotta take the tire off. You gotta take so much stuff off to get to it. It's like, man, this is crazy how they designed this. Took it to a shop, let them give me a price. They told me like $800 and $900. I'm like, no, we don't have that type of money right now. We need to get back on the road immediately because this is all we're doing right now. At the time, I had lost my businesses, my online businesses. They were jacked up because I didn't have any capital, because my accounts were messed up, because the real estate deal didn't go through, and I still had money coming out. And I had to make a choice of, okay, let me try to get this figured out with the real estate deal so we can close, or let me do this. And I was still getting sales. Now, the time of me getting sales, because my account was overdrawn, you can imagine how that goes. You got this overdraft, this overdraft, this overdraft, this overdraft, and you still got sales from your business. How you gonna fulfill those sales? You can't, because you don't have the funds in there. And so you're probably thinking, well, why didn't you just put the money in the bank that you had? I had to pay the bills. Now, I didn't want to put that money in the bank and then lose that money and not be able to make sure that the bills were taken care of. I'm gonna tell y'all the real deal stuff. I ain't gonna give you this fluff and puff that these folks be giving you. They don't want to tell you the whole story. They want to make it seem like everything went good. Everything went good. No, everything don't always go good in the sense of how you want it to go. And so, like I said, my account had ended up being messed up, and that caused me to lose those two businesses because I didn't have no capital to be able to fulfill those orders. And the money stopped from there. At the same time, we're having this issue with this car. Not the car I'm currently in, but the Mazda in question. We got to the point, it was like, okay, let's just see if we can get something with the payment, which I didn't want to do. I did not want to do that because that ties up money. That's, what I'm saying, $300, $400 a month, depending on how much you're paying for a car. Went down there, end up getting a van, not the van you've seen, but end up getting another van. It was a Dodge. It was a newer Dodge, and it rolled good and everything, but it had a few problems. The battery ended up blowing up, and the van was leaving my wife stranded where she had to keep on getting jump offs. Like, just come out and then it wouldn't crank, and then you would jump it and then it would crank. At the time, we didn't know what was wrong with it. It could have been the battery, it could have been something else. And so I replaced the battery, like a $200 battery. We had just got this vehicle, hadn't even made the first payment, and it's having these problems. Like I said, the battery ended up blowing up and it was giving off these toxic fumes. And the people were wanting a payment. I'm like, look, this is a situation. We need to find out what's going on before I give y'all this money, because I'm not about to make a payment on a vehicle like this and is leaving us stranded. So we were going back and forth, and they came and repossessed it. Didn't even give us a chance. It was like maybe a week after the payment was due or something like that. I was at work. My wife said, hey, they came and repossessed the van. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I went out there and talked to the people. And that didn't go too well because the lady who was the GM, she took us back in the office and she tried to, threaten us like, look, you need this and everything. I'm like, no, y'all need us as customers because we're the one that pay y'all bills. And, my issue with her was she was acting like her thing was bigger than mine. Her thing was bigger than mine. She was just being disrespectful. And so she was like, do you want to get back in the vehicle? I was like, no, I don't want to get back in the vehicle because of the way you're talking and stuff. I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate. And so we ended up not getting in the vehicle, and she tried to talk this game to me about this and talk this game to me about that, not realizing that I know how the car game go because my dad is in the car game. My dad been in the car game for a very long time, so he put me up on game. You may say, well, why you didn't get a vehicle from him? Well, he has some stuff going on, moving around from this dealership to that dealership, and we needed something immediately. We didn't have time to kind of wait on him with what he had going on. I know how my dad is. So they, like I said, they came and repossessed it, going back and forth. They were telling my wife, like, if you still want it, you got this much time to get it. We didn't come back and get it. So now we don't even have the Mazda. You may say, well, why you don't have the Mazda, man? We use the Mazda as the trade-in. We use the Mazda as a trade-in, so we didn't have to put no money down. Now we're out of the van. We're out of the Mazda that's paid for. We didn't lost that because these folks don't want to do right. It's like, wow. That's how y'all gonna do business. They're not even gonna give us our money back. It's not like you can actually fight these people like that, because you spend more money trying to fight them than, just chalking it up, which is what we did. I was like, I ain't worried about it. God gonna look out for us as he always does. And he did. So they ended up sending some papers where it was like the loan that we had with them, it was null and void. Like, hey, we just gonna cancel out. You don't owe us nothing. We don't owe you nothing. Boom, boom, boom. Because they were talking like, we're gonna come for you, this and this now. Like, man, I said, I just want y'all to do right, man. I just want y'all to do right. I said, y'all know y'all was wrong. This and that. Y'all, I'm talking about what your manager told me, and they saying, well, this, and they saying that. I'm like, look, I ain't going for all that. I said, I ain't studying what you're talking about. I'm not desperate for your vehicle. It was just a bad situation with them. It was just a bad situation. It could have been handled better. So yeah, we ended up losing. We sold the van, the original van we had. Then we end up getting another van, but we lost that van and the car we had because they got it on the trade-in. And then my car's in the shop. So it's like, what we gonna do? Well, we end up getting a rental car for like maybe a week. Maybe like a week we were paying for a rental car. And the math I did was like, okay, yeah, we still gotta pay these people, but it's better to have some type of income coming in than have no income coming in. Because at the time, I wasn't working at Walmart. I hadn't started my new business. And so it's like, man, we still got bills. So let's go ahead and get this rental car. We'll drive until, I put some things in action. So I made a few calls in Georgia. I'm like, look, I ain't fooling with these folks here. Made a few calls in Georgia. Was able to secure a vehicle. Like, I think it was like a week, maybe a week and a half after we had lost the other van. I took a Greyhound overnight. Yeah, it was like overnight Greyhound, 15 hours to Georgia. Got the van y'all saw and turned right back around as soon as I got there and drove back to Arkansas, which is about a 10 hour drive, maybe, depending on how you move. I think it's like 9, if I'm not mistaken, about 9. And now we had that van. We purchased that van from Georgia, which is why you see those Georgia plates. So like the money we did have, we had to end up giving up the money I put into the Mazda to get it fixed, and then it still gave us issues in the money that it was going to cost to fix that water pump. They wanted like, I think like $800-900. It may have been more than that. And the guy was talking about the transmission slipping and all this other stuff. Y'all know how it goes. So it's like, dang. If it's one thing, if it ain't one thing, it's another, right? Now fast forward, we finally get the Jag out the shop.
But the money we did have saved up, I'm thinking it's gonna be one amount, and because they had to drop the rear end to do it, it ended up being something completely different. Now the Jag, I ain't finna lose that. Now y'all ain't finna get this, because I know that I can get my money back out of this this vehicle, which is what I was gonna do with the Mazda. The Mazda, I was doing work on it, little maintenance work, so that I could get it ready for tax time. And then everything started to fall apart. Not having money for this, not having money for that. And now you gotta make grown man decisions. Am I gonna do this, or am I gonna use this money to make sure my family is taken care of? Remember, we had the property on the market, and we were about to sell it. People were living in the house, paperwork was done. We were looking forward to closing that. I think when the certificate deposit cleared on that Friday, we were supposed to close on that Tuesday. And then it all fell apart because they started tripping. And we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna say that for another video. Because it was some real live foolery going on through this whole process. Some real live foolery. But I wasn't about to lose my Jag, because I know that I can get my money back out of this vehicle. Everywhere I drive the vehicle, oh man, is that the 96 XJ? Oh, that's the best one they made. That's a nice car. So I know what I got. This is more so a investment. And the other vehicles were investments too. It just didn't work out that way. I had to make decisions that I had to make sure my family was straight. But we were paying bills in two places. We were paying bills at the house that we have now moved in, and we were paying the bills at the house that we were living in. And when the money was coming in, it was okay, but when the money stops, it's like, okay, we don't have that reserve anymore. We got to make some decisions. The business is messed up. We didn't close on the real estate deal. We can put it back on the market, but my wife is now pregnant. You see what I'm saying? So that's the decision that I end up making. Let's just move into it right now, and then when the baby is born, we'll go from there. So like I said, the Jag was in the shop. I'm thinking it's gonna be one price. It ended up being something completely different. Completely different. Way completely different. And so that took away even more money. Even more money. The money that we did have, it took away even more money. Because I had to get it out the shop. I didn't want it sitting there any longer. They had finally got it fixed. We now have the other van, but you only have one vehicle, and now I have to get to work, and then my wife has to do the driving and stuff while I'm going to Walmart to make sure that we have some consistent income coming in until we can rebound back into the businesses and stuff like that. Fast forward, I'm still at Walmart. It's a hustle. I never went into it like, okay, I'm gonna be here for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. That's just me. That's just me. If you decide to do that, you can do that. But remember, the name of the channel is Side Hustle Kingz. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Sometimes you have to make those decisions. Sometimes you have to make those moves, because that's the best move to make. That's the best move to make at the time. And you make that move, and you don't go into these situations to just be stuck there. You do it for the time being. Make sure your family's straight, or make sure you're straight, and then you continue to build. And that's what we've been doing. Now we finna really do this thing with Side Hustle Kingz. We got our other channel. Matter of fact, we got 2 other channels, as I mentioned earlier, and we're gonna grow all of them. And we're gonna build this media company. And the media company is a side hustle also. It's all a side hustle for what we are really focused on, which is real estate. Why? Because I like real estate, and real estate give bigger checks. Not saying you can't get a big check from YouTube, but real estate give bigger checks. They give bigger checks, and people need homes to live in regardless. Now, if you get a bigger check, what does that give you? That gives you more money to invest. You get a check where you know what I'm saying, you in your pocket, you getting $50,000 or more. I can live off a check that's $50,000. I don't know about y'all, but I can, because I've done it with less. And that's what I want to teach y'all and show you, that you ain't got to have this crazy amount of money to survive and do what you need to do. You got to be smart and you got to be wise with what you have. And when you go through these different situations, when you get to that point, then because of what you went through, you will be smarter and you will be wiser. But want to make sure I gave y'all an update on that and everything. But until next time, I'm out.